Namaste, Pablo.
Namaste, Jyotima.
You are welcome today to share with us your story with Osho. When did you meet him, and how was your life changed being with Osho? And then, in a short, you can say a little background of your life before Osho also. In that context, we will understand more. So, we are happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you for having the opportunity. And because I met you, it was connecting me even more with Osho. Because I consider myself as being a new generation of Sannyasin Osho in 1980-81, where all the people, the sannyasins who were taking sannyas or meeting Osho in Pune, India, they came to Europe.
Yes.
And I was 30 years old, having a career as businessman and running a company in Frankfurt, Germany. And before I was in a very protected family, and very innocently came to Berlin.
Okay. Which year was that?
In 1968.
Okay.
And you will be surprised because I was like a kind of a very innocent guy. And then in Berlin, there was the student rebellion happening.
Okay.
Thousands of people in the streets and protesting and shouting and Ho Chi Minh against the Vietnam War. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? I'm telling this because it gave me the first taste of being a revolutionary at that time,
Okay.
fighting the government and. And later on, when Osho was talking about politics and his path, I noticed, but he called it rebellious spirit.
Yes.
And over the years, it was accompanying me. And looking back, I saw, this was a little, puzzle in my life. And I was like studying and involved in the political movement and reading Karl Marx.
Karl Marx. Okay.
Yeah, and he's still, for me, he was my first guru.
Okay.
Because I was studying economics, and I even wrote my thesis quoting Karl Marx. And because he was the only genius mind who had discovered actually the laws of capitalism.
Okay.
And even in my thesis, I was working with his thesis and had a beautiful exam, and that made me start working in the government. You wouldn't believe, first being a revolutionary, and there I learned a lot about the workings of the government. I remember Maitreya talking about his political career, and I felt, it was giving me the foundation also not to escape sometime in the mountains, but to be in the marketplace and even in top positions, earning lots of money. But already there, I was like continuing the fight. We were fighting the big multinational companies, I was in the trade commission. Anyway, but I learned a lot about working in the government,
Okay.
like you were working as an accountant, you learn to be like precise and everything. So, but I left that job after almost seven years, wanting to take out 1 year of holiday
Okay.
and then coming back out of security. But the president of that institution, I had a relatively good connection. He said, Mr. Von Czarnowsky, you don't do this. You just leave here with no back door.
Okay.
And that was the greatest gift, because I thought, it's such a safe job and I'm in a top position and So I left, I canceled, and I went to South America.
Okay.
And with the book of Sri Aurobindo
Okay.
in my comment. And I was like a little bit in the Christian, I had no idea about religion or anything, but later on I noticed, I loved singing in the choir, in the church, till I was 16, and then okay. But when I went to South America, I saw a lot of, when I went in, they have this, they are Catholic, but they have like a very strong connection to Jesus. In church, sometimes I watched women being totally devoted to Jesus, and I said, that touched me really. But the South American was sort of traveling for 6 months alone, basically.
You never married?
No. Yeah, but I'm very grateful to my parents because they were fighting so much. When I was 10 years, I mean, there's a little bit of a drama around it, but this may be later.
Okay.
And when I came back, and now I come to the point of what is the role of the family? And in the West, in Germany, it's loosening up. And when the parents get divorced, and I'm with my mother, with my grandparents, I had already a kind of a freedom on that one. And my grandfather wanted me to take over the company, the family company, small company. And I was fighting, no, I don't want to move this. I want to do my own thing. So I went in the government and then I went to South America. But in South America, I was hammered to say, okay, you have to take over this company, Like in the tradition, father usually wants the son to continue. In my case, my mother was a woman. So in the old tradition, a woman can't take over the company. So my grandfather was putting all the energy into little Jurgen.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I can't. This is so strong in my head. I came back from South America and said, okay, I take over the company. And everybody was, of course, happy. But then again, same thing happened. First of all, I lost my long year woman.
Okay.
She wanted to stay in Berlin, wanted to do her career. She was very accepted by my family, but it didn't happen. So, which was lucky, because otherwise I would have sitting, and my grandfather wanted to bribe me with a big villa, and So I did this job for only 2 years, but it was like so narrow-minded, it wasn't mine. So